Sergeant Williams, it's Sergeant Rivera.
Hello, Sergeant Rivera. I've asked you here so we can go over your NCOER before we digitally sign it. Come on in and have a seat at the table. So, how have you and your wife been doing?
We've been fine, Sergeant, just keeping busy on weekends. We've been doing a lot of hiking and mountain biking lately.
Sounds like fun. I wish I had the time to get out and do some recreational things. We keep busy with the kids, always one of them to or from a soccer practice or games. Seems like all our off-duty time is consumed by catering to the kids.
That's funny, Sergeant. We don't have that problem just yet, but we decided that next year is going to be the year to try for our first baby.
That's great. I wish you the best. So, let's get to business. First, I'd like you to take a look at the front of the NCOER and verify that all the admin data in Part 1 is correct. Verify your name, social security number, and email address. Also make sure your date of rank is correct.
Looks good, Sergeant.
Great. Now let's discuss how I have rated you for your performance over the last year. As you can see in Part 4, I have rated you all yeses on the Army Corps values. I feel that you've embraced the values and demonstrated them well.
Thank you, Sergeant. I appreciate that.
No problem. Now let's look over the back. As you can see in the competence block, I rated you excellent. I feel you are one of the most proficient NCOs in the platoon when it comes to MOS competency. You have displayed a lot of discipline by completing 18 college credit hours. It shows that you can effectively balance work and your personal life, demonstrating good time management skills.
Thank you, Sergeant. That really means a lot. It wasn't easy, but I know how important civilian education is, and I really need to keep pursuing a degree.
I know it has been a lot of extra work, but I hope you will continue to work on your degree. Now, in physical fitness, I gave you a success. You are meeting the standard. However, to receive an excellence block, you will need to go above and beyond. One way of doing that would be to score at least a 270 on the APFT with at least 90 points in each event, or you could coach your team into scoring significantly above the company average.
Understood, Sergeant.
In leadership, I rated you a success. However, you need to improve on your leadership skills.
Sergeant, I don't understand. I thought I was providing excellent leadership.
Not necessarily. You had a few incidents involving some of the soldiers in your squad over the past few months that I think stronger leadership from you could have prevented. If you recall, Specialist Smith showed up to formation late on several occasions, and Private Bratton failed his APFT. There was also the incident last fall of lost equipment, but we will discuss that when we get to the responsibility and accountability block.
But Sergeant, that was my soldiers, not me.
That's true, but remember, we discussed these very issues during your last 2 quarterly counseling sessions, and you concurred that you must take responsibility for your soldiers as well as yourself.
Sergeant, I know what you are saying, but there has to be a line somewhere that differentiates me from my soldiers. I don't think that I should have to suffer on my NCOER because of their actions.
You have to understand that in the Army, you do share responsibility for the performance of your soldiers. If you provide good leadership, your soldiers will follow that example and do the same.
Sergeant, that just doesn't seem fair.
It is fair to rate you on your performance of your duties. As a squad leader, your duties include seeing that your squad members are at their place of duty on time, that they are physically fit and well trained, and that individual and squad equipment is properly maintained and accounted for. The Army expects, and your soldiers deserve, good leadership. I'm not saying that you are a poor leader. I'm saying that your leadership skills and attention to your leadership responsibilities need some refining. The past year was a success, but if you want to be excellent at leadership, you will need to learn how to effectively lead your soldiers down the right path and help them in making the right decisions. It's about what is good for the soldier and good for the Army.
Roger, Sergeant, I understand. I just think that not getting all excellence blocks will hurt me later when it comes time for promotion.
That is not true. Getting all excellence blocks could actually hurt you if the bullet comments don't justify the excellence rating. In that case, board members might see your NCOER as inflated and discount the whole thing. They look at hundreds of reports and can easily pick out the fluff.
Oh, I see, Sergeant. I didn't realize that.
A lot of soldiers don't realize that. Okay, moving on. In training, you received an excellence block because you were able to bring out the best in your squad, as shown by the fact that 2 of your soldiers won Soldier of the Month boards and 1 soldier won Brigade Soldier of the Quarter.
No argument here.
Now, for accountability, you received a success. As you can recall, Specialist Smith lost his night vision goggles when we were in the field last November.
Sergeant, I don't see how that was my fault.
Remember, if you had done a hands-on equipment check like you were instructed to do, we could have prevented them from coming up missing in the first place. Fortunately for you, they were found quickly, or this block may have been marked as needs improvement.
But Sergeant, I did do a hands-on check, just not at the exact time you told me to.
That is exactly my point. If you had done the check when all the squad leaders were told to do them, we could have discovered the missing goggles sooner, stopped the training exercise, and backtracked where we were. That way, we could have found them faster, and less training would have been lost. Since you didn't follow instructions and did the check later, we had to stop training and cover more ground. Fortunately, we found them.
Roger, Sergeant, I got it. Since you put it that way, I understand.
In Part 5, Overall Performance and Potential, I rate you as fully capable. I can't rate you this year as among the best. Fully capable is the rating supported and justified by the rest of the NCOER.
I understand, Sergeant.
All right, Sergeant Rivera, do you have any questions for me?
No, Sergeant.
With the exception of the accountability issue, you had a good year, and I expect more out of you in the next one. Take what you learned last year and apply it to this coming year. Learn from your mistakes so that you don't make them again.
I will, Sergeant. You can count on that.
Great. The platoon leader wants to see you this afternoon, immediately after lunch, to go over the senior raider portion with you.
Roger, Sergeant. Too easy.
All right, Sergeant Rivera. After you and the platoon leader are done, we will digitally sign your NCOER, so you should be expecting to receive it tomorrow sometime for your signature.
All right, Sergeant.
Have a good day, and give my best to Maria.
Wilco, Sergeant. Same to you.